First of all, allow me to thank the National Commission for Culture and Arts, National Committee on Cinema, on the Eksena Cinema Quarantine, COVID-19 Filmmakers Diaries. The university is proud to partner with NCCA on this endeavor. The pandemic has sidelined many of our artists, and this is a great opportunity for artists and filmmakers to come out and show what they can do. Congratulations also to all the 16 filmmakers in the entire archipelago for participating and joining in this worthwhile project. I invite you to see the output of all our filmmakers in the ECQ virtual launch. Congratulations and see you there.
Isang makasining na araw sa inyong lahat. Right at the outset, let me congratulate everyone involved in this amazing film project. Imagine putting together 4 filmmakers from different parts of the country to collaborate on a creative work while adhering to lockdown restrictions. Imagine setting up frames virtually, where each filmmaker doubles up as his own cinematographer. Imagine waiting patiently for natural light and directing your actors through the web. That is how Eksena Cinema Quarantine, ECQ, a double feature-length film, was made virtually in the time of the plague. And today, on behalf of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, NCCA, through the National Committee on Cinema, in partnership with the University of St. La Salle, Bacolod, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this launch. To quote a former colleague of mine, the late National Artist for Film Director, Lino Broca. To the best of our abilities, and even if we oftentimes fail, we must produce films that will hurt, films that will disturb, films that will not let you rest. For the times are bad, and given times like these, it is a crime to rest. Truly, the pandemic has hampered the film industry from actors and directors, down to cameramen and writers. Films have been delayed, productions cut short, and movie theaters were all closed. But we as true artists, we cannot rest. With the theme, Filmmakers Live Under Lockdown, this collaborative project is a testament to the relentless pursuit of our very own filmmakers to document the everyday life as they explore big ideas in small spaces. The film also highlights the individual and collective experiences of our artists and cultural workers in the midst of a global health crisis. As we mark the next 100 years of Philippine cinema, I believe this film will also stand the test of time, contributing a unique experience that allows both artists and audiences to reflect on today's most vital concerns. I am certain that this film will impress the locals and international audiences alike and yield a lot of valuable insights. At this point, I wish to extend my kudos to the NCC headed by Commissioner Roland Tolentino, for the successful launch of ECQ. It is of no small importance, but these projects, as well as many others, both cultural and social, will live on beyond the pandemic. The Commission will always wholeheartedly support all initiative aimed at developing the creativity of our artists, supporting the film sector, and preserving the history and authenticity of the Filipino life and culture in the time of the pandemic and beyond. I wish you the best of luck, and I can already imagine the fruitful discourse that will come after watching Eksena. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang pelikulang Pilipino.
Isang ligtas at maligayang sandali sa ating lahat. Ang National Committee on Cinema ay ang sangay ng NCCA na nakatugon sa interes ng sining at kultura ng filmmakers, movie audiences na parehong mamamayan din ng ating bansa. Malugod naming inaalay ang 2 omnibus films ng Eksena, Cinema Quarantine sa publikong manonood at mamamayan ng ating bansa para italaga sa kasalukuyan at hinaharap na henerasyon na ang ating filmmakers ng ating bansa ay patuloy na lumikha kahit na sa pinakapeligrosong yugto ng mundong kumakaharap sa pandemiko. Nagpapasalamat kami sa 16 na filmmakers mula sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao at NCR na umako sa hamon ng panahon at patuloy na gawin ang kanilang sining dahil ang sining at kultura ay esensyal para maibsan at mapagtagumpayan ang laban sa pandemiko. Ang 16 na maikling pelikula ay ang mga malikhaing tugon at negosasyon ng filmmakers kung paano sila nabuhay, lumilikha, sinusustain ang paglikha sa panahon ng lockdown sa pandemiko. Tandaan natin na ang ating bansa ang may pinakamahaba at striktong ongoing lockdown sa buong mundo. Ang kolektibong tinig at visyon ng filmmakers ay dokumento, testamento at manifesto ng pelikula sa panahon ng lockdown at lampas pa rito. Ito ay pahiwatig kung paano ang paglikha ay ang susustina sa ating laban sa pandemiko at iba pang panlipunang problema. At kahalintulan ng buhay ng manonood at mamamayan, halaw ang kanilang kwento sa ating kolektibong pagdanas at pagkadusta sa pandemiko. Binibigyan representasyon ng filmmakers hindi lang ang kanilang tinig at bisyon bilang artista ng bayan, kundi ang tinig at bisyon na nagpupursiging mabuhay ng marangal na manonood at mamamayan ng ating bansa. Kung may matatawag na takeaway mula sa mga pelikula, ito ay ang sining ay isang aparato ng formasyon at transformasyon ng lipunan. Ika nga ni Bertolt Brecht, art is not a mirror held up to reality, but a hammer with which to shape it. At dagdag pa rito, ang ating pambansang alagad ng sining para sa pelikula na si Lino Broca ay nagwika. Although it is a duty of the artist to work for what is true, good, and beautiful, first we must expose and fight what is wrong. Sa gitna ng lockdown at pandemiko, mabuhay at kinakailangang buhayin ang sining para sa pagbabago ng mga katiwalian dinanas at dinaranas sa lockdown. Mabuhay ang pelikulang Filipino, mabuhay ang Filipinong filmmakers, mabuhay ang manonood at mamamayang Filipino.
Mahirap ang gumawa ng sining ngayon. Liban sa abala sa mga pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan, naging mabigat para sa isipan ng marami ang kawalan ng katiyakan na dala ng sunod-sunod na sakuna sa Pilipinas. Mula sa drug war, COVID-19, mga bagyo, kawalan ng trabaho, pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin, at marami pang iba. Mahabang listahan. Ang tanging kaya natin gawin ay magmasid, manatili, at magpursige. Kung kaya ang paggawa ng pelikula na ito, sa isang banda ay naging parang catharsis para sa akin, na kahit papaano ay nabigyan ng simula, gitna at dulo ang mga kwento ng kababalaghan ng ating panahon. Marahil sa ngayon, ang halaga ng paggawa ng ganitong mga bagay ng sining na umano'y hindi naman pangunahing pangangailangan ay upang maipabatid sa kapwa na may puwang para sa iba't ibang kwento. At sa pamamagitan ng pagsalaysay ng ating mga karanasan, nabibigyan ng saysay ang mga maliliit na bagay na siyang bumubuo ng ating mga buhay. Maraming salamat NCCA, National Committee on Cinema at University of St. La Salle, Bacolod sa pagbigay sa aming 16 na manggagawa ng pelikula ng pagkakataon na makapaglikha ng mga obra sa panahon ng pandemya. Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat.
Naisip ko na rin umalis.
Isa raw sa pinakamasakit na mararanasan natin, yung mawalan ka ng nanay. Nasa lock-in shoot ako nun eh. Tapos yun, nagising ako ng mga 6:45 AM. Ang daming missed calls. Tapos kinabahan na ako. Tinawagan ko na sina Papa. Ayun, sinabi na nila na wala na si Mama.
puntoon aldaw sa in marayon aldaw. Dongan na panahon. Tumakabatan o nang koipad. Warot nakita na iling punto.
Inungdan nga nung libakwit ni tungod kay grabe ang hulga sa amo diya sa among komunidad o nagkadesisyon mi nga kung asa safe ang among kinabuhi so dito mi.
Pangandoy gyud nako nga ang among kabataan makahuman og kurso para mobalik sa among tribo mutudlo. Ug ilabi na nga unta nga kaming mga lumad makabalik nami sa komunidad nga magpadayon nga mag-organize sa among tribo nga dili mawad-an sa pagkaon ug tanang tribo namo sa mga lumad matabangan ug maedukar ang kabataan so walay madaog-daog sa among tribo.
Ako ka. Yakanta.
Hold, standby. Okay, 1, 2, 3, action! Ayan, nag-goal siya, kaya wala pa si Dede, pero nakita niya dito si Dede, so layo pa dulong na.
Dili na sa dayak, dali.
Pera sa mata. Dapat na sulod manggod siya. Sige. Ibutan na ako, ibutan mo final na. Final na.
So, nangilang, ito yung pinakalas.
Sino mo lang? Mga table lang sa table. Ay, magmana. Red! Dos! Uno! Oh, stop! Uno, ha?
Cut. Cut.
Nagkana ko kay mami ko kung gusto niya mo bisita sa negosyo. po kaginhawa. Mag-ingat ka dyan.
Noong unang panahon, may dalawang bata, sina Gunam-Gunam at Gudi-Gudi. Walang gulo ay tumatakbo. Kung ano ang taas ng paglipad, nagsaing si Judas, isang balong madali, sariling mantsa. Madali, maging hayop, patayin ang taga. Gunam, 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 ex Gudi-Gudi. Hindi ito pelikula ni Khavn.
Executive Order number 26.
COVID-19 normal.
Community quarantine.
Ang isang kasaysayan na hindi mo ang kinapalapnag sa mga panulay. Buhay pa ikaw, kinkaping na ikaw mapatay.
Bagong usipon, bagong aawiton sa tuyang hamanon. Bagong bayong, bagong usipon, bagong aawiton sa tuyang hamanon.
Firstly, I'm happy to say that the University of St. Salle is fortunate and honored for this wonderful opportunity to be a partner in this notable undertaking. We have had fruitful engagements with NCCA in the past, and I am glad to note that this partnership has grown over the years. For this and more, I'd like to thank the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. On a personal note, thank you as well for this opportunity to share my thoughts, my personal take on the short films under ECQ, COVID-19, Filmmakers Diaries. The current circumstances that this pandemic has brought about, while adverse, difficult, overbearing, and uncertain, provide opportunities for self-expression, for one to convey a message of truth or portray a slice of life in a personal, creative, and authentic manner. Such is the case in these short films. This pandemic has overturned and disrupted our lives, upsetting our routines and sense of order. And our filmmakers have not been spared. Despite all this, they did not give up or lose hope. For these reasons alone, our filmmakers in this project deserve much appreciation and certainly commendation. It is often said that art is a reflection of life. It is an interpretation of life in its manifold aspects, our dreams, hopes, and aspirations, our joys and pains, missed opportunities, regrets, memories, and anything or everything that is part and parcel of our existence. The films in the project mirror this idea of art, and in the process, they are enjoyable, inspiring, nurturing, uplifting, and stimulating, to name a few. We also hear about the common notion that good art, whether it is a song, a painting, a novel, or film, is one that does not only entertain, but one that teaches as well. That is, good art is both beautiful and useful. I have to say that most, if not all, of the short films in this collection have met this measure or standard in varying degrees. The short films touched on real and relevant issues, perceptions, struggles, and challenges at this time of pandemic from the filmmakers' varied and individual perspectives. Let me share my observations and realizations from the short films as revelations of our filmmakers' thoughts and feelings, as well as their struggles and successes during this time of pandemic. To be optimistic about it, this pandemic has provided opportunities or occasions for meaningful conversations, intimacy, storytelling, self-reflection and introspection, to find alternative ways to survive and keep one's sanity intact in the midst of all the chaos, to dwell on what we used to regard as seemingly trivial or insignificant, and allow new ideas and discoveries to take shape and prosper. With or without this pandemic, life goes on. In many different ways, we continue to strive to lead normal lives or create a semblance of normalcy. Truth be told, man's flexibility, adaptability, resourcefulness, resiliency, and ingenuity have come to the fore, with some help from technology, of course. And my favorite realization, relationships are invaluable. Memories shared are priceless. And as for this pandemic, together and by God's grace, we shall overcome. Congratulations to all our filmmakers, and our special thanks once again to the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, the National Committee on Cinema, for all the support. Thank you.
Here are the diaries of 16 filmmakers who were asked to document their responses to the pandemic and the quarantine. Look therefore at Glenn Barit's search for the oven in Walang Katapusang Urno, the source of all creation and all things are put on hold. A grant to make a film brings guilt because we never think of art as crucial to living. The home of Zurich Chan's soul fish is caught in the fishbowl. The fish swims all by its lonesome as the family prepares to attend a birthday party online. Cameras in Lonely Girls pay a tribute to a kind of loneliness. A person appears and disappears, the hair falls, and affliction is around her, but it's beyond her body. Carlo Catu's happiness and sorrow are in one person, he declares, Mama Joy is my mother. Allowing the camera to invade his space, Catu tells us death is most expected, but also most unwelcome. His Deligero is inflamed in Calayo. He chances upon a 100 peso bill and takes a thermometer to check if it is a fever. Houses with lights are seen with men in protective gear, an army out to clean the city. The man in Cal Fermindoza's Cuadrado is alone with the firmament and the sea. This is the world in lockdown, where paper boats take on power and hope because there is nothing else. Arbi Barbarona in The Right to Life revisits the subject of his documentary. Long before the virus, they were already in isolation. A woman recites the epic and the community lives on. Guillermo Campo, From Itugon to London, shows us how natural calamities can kill industries and spawn new ones. There is humor and entrepreneurship even in lockdowns. Bagani Fiola films in a time of uncertainty and finds out that the only certainty is quarantine. Once more, cinema is an intruder, and the place it documents is the threatened insider. Somewhere in Antique, Arden Condez blurs the line between the lenses of his camera and the tender, sensual, and candid shots of couples in love. Death comes, but the kisses and the flowers never stop. Hiyas Baldemor Bagabaldo's Needing Nothing draws an all-seeing eye. All types of quarantine are enumerated as we travel through time and space. Akong Pinalangga, My Beloved, is Julian Ilagan's thought on separation and connection. We look across the screen and wish each other well, shed a tear or two, or even deny we're crying. Or we could explode, as Khavn de la Cruz does in Gunam Gunam versus Guni Guni, a loud protest on education in the new normal. Children run around, independent learners in a world gone mad and free. Inawong, or Face, Mark Garcia stages a world where figures in deathly masks preside over rituals of decay. A voice recites wishes for a new mask of new dreams, and Kristian Sendon Cordero ruminates on the tale of the Ibong Adana, which comes to him in the form of an egg. In the retelling, Nora Honor with a muted scream is a found footage, like the myth. The solution and solitude for Adjani Arumpac is to count. Your response to the pandemic is the memory of numbers. Loss is measured by numbers and not by healthcare.